Hello and welcome back to Tuesday Weekly Live at Creative Violin. And today we're going to talk about improvisation right from the beginning. What is that? Improvisation right from the beginning. Now I get a lot of comments on that, questions maybe, questions about how are you going to do that? I mean, do we not have to learn the basics of the violin first? Do we not have to know how to read the notes? Do we this, do we that? No, we can start improvising right away. And you know why? I would like to compare that with how little children, babies, little children, learn the language. I mean, speaking with each other is also a form of improvisation, because if you're having a conversation with someone, you just don't know on forehand what you're going to say, right? You don't have anything written down on a paper and that's how the conversation goes. No, you're improvising. So are we all able to improvise? Yes, we are. And classical violinists tend to say, no, we cannot, because we weren't brought up that way. But yes, you can. And I'm going to prove that to you. I'm going to show you right now how this works and why start from the beginning. So let's first define the word improvisation. Improvisation is that you sort of make up your sentence, what you're going to say on the spot, on the fly. Right there. And if you can do that with words, then you also can do that on a violin or on whatever instrument you're playing. So first of all, you'd learn a few notes. You'd learn a few words. I'm just going to keep on comparing those. And with these words, eventually you're going to make sentences and you're going to change the words, you're going to change the order of the words, get other sentences, and with that you're telling other things, you're saying other things. And this is exactly the same with the violin. What are our words? Well, to give you an example, this, my bow right, this is a word. This is another word. And this is another word. We've got 3 words here. And I can put them in another order. Or whatever. And I can change note lengths, so I could have something like that. You can play around with that. Short words, longer words, and if you play around with that and don't think too much, then you're off with improvisation. And the questions I get, the remarks that I get, I'm going to show you a few. Here, let me see. Here. Improvisation is not for violinists. Yeah, it's for jazz, a trumpeter, guitar player, piano maybe. Those are the improvisers. They play jazz, they play pop, they play folk music. They are free on their instrument. We classical trained violinists, we are only trained to read. Play from sight, play from what's in the book. So we weren't brought up like that. So we are not improvisers. Violinists, improvisation is not for violinists. And that is actually, yes, it's true. But we can change that very, very easily. We can change it. And I'm not talking about the level of improvisation, if you're going to be the next jazz violinist and the next Grappelli. Not talking about that. I'm talking about getting a little freedom and getting a little other angle of approach to the instrument and to the thinking, to the creative thinking. So I would say improvisation is for everybody. So yes, classical trained violinist also for you. There we go. I've got another one here. Let me see. Other music is no music. Well, this comes from the classical world as well. And in my experience, when I was still at the music academy before my conservatory, I was playing with the gypsies, gypsy music. And my teacher was pure classical teacher. Okay. She did not have any skills or any experience with all other kinds of music, world music, jazz, pop, nothing. And I would come there, play tunes and everything, and she'd be like, no, I cannot do that. I can't teach you that. I don't know how to do that. I can't teach you that. So either you stick with me, classical lessons, or either you go and play other music. And I heard another student this week told me her teacher said she was interested to improvise a bit, play folk music, maybe Irish music, other music than only classical. And that teacher literally said what you're reading here, other music is no music. And she quit, yes. And I felt sorry for her because I think that's a little bit short-sighted. And I'm going to tell you why. I had the same problem with my conservatory teacher. There wasn't any education for jazz violinists because there wasn't a jazz violin teacher. Didn't exist. So, but I wanted to go in the jazz section, and so I had two educations at the conservatory, the classical one and the jazz one. And I had a classical violinist training me on violin. Absolutely brilliant teacher, brilliant teacher. But he said, all those jazz guys, all those seventh chords, blah, not. Until after some time, I showed him Stefan Grappelli. And Stefan Grappelli is one of the most well-known jazz violinist maybe of all time. So Stefan Grappelli, and knowing that Stefan Grappelli was great big friends with Yehudi Menuhin, the best classical violinist of his time. They were great friends and they played together and they had such fun together. Yehudi Menuhin told Grappelli, wow, you brilliant violinist, and he says to Grappelli, what you're doing, I will never learn that. I will never do that, even if I'd study 100 years. Well, maybe he's right, because at that level of jazz playing, all right, okay. But he was really interested in that. I'm going to show you. And I showed my teacher at the conservatory, my classical teacher at the conservatory, this, Grappelli with Yehudi Menuhin. And all of a sudden, he started, oh, you're right. Oh, wow, this is great. Oh, wow, what is he doing? How is he doing that? And he had to know everything about it. So that was quite a turnover. And that's what I hope to achieve with classical trained teachers. So if you're a teacher out there, this is for you. I mean, if you want to have a lot of fun with your students, go and teach them improvising, and it's really easy to do. I'm going to show you. So, other music is no music. Let's get that one out. Okay. Here, classic and jazz do not mix. So either you play classic, either you play jazz, but you cannot play both. Well, if you've seen a trumpetist, Wynton Marsalis, brilliant, I think one of the best jazz trumpeters of this time. Did you hear him play Bach? Perfect! On this high trumpet, articulations, everything's perfect. So he plays jazz and he plays classic on an extremely high level. Perfectly combinable. You say that? Combinable. You can combine them both perfectly. I was going to say something else. Classic and jazz don't mix. Well, you know what? we have this radio station in Belgium that is Clara. Clara is the classic radio, and they play actually two kinds of music. Classic, naturally, but also jazz. They've got these jazz Django and all these programs about jazz, and also a little bit of world music as well. So different kinds of music. So other music. That is music, right? So I want to encourage teachers, but also students, to not only read music and learn by sight reading, but let's get creative also, really creative. And improvising is the stimulates the creative mind. And if you improvise, I can guarantee you, if you learn about the chords, learn about listening to others, and be involved with the people you're playing with, that's what it's all about. And then you might approach classical music in a totally different way. And I'll tell you, Bach, Johann Sebastian Bach, is known to be a great improviser. If you see his basso continuos, that is a clavecembal with cello, he didn't write the notes, he wrote chords, and they kept improvise everything. He was mastering that. Improviser in the Baroque era. There we go. Okay, so I told you about Grappelli and Menuhin, these beautiful friends. And of course, Grappelli, jazz, and swinging like that, and Menuhin improvising in a classical style, but it is fantastic. And you're also going to see Itzhak Perlman, also my big hero, classical trained violinist. He's playing country bluegrass. And if they can do it, let me show you. Could you see the fun they're having? Absolutely fun to play freely like that. So this is what it's all about. And if these world famous classical violinists also play other music and have so much fun with that, why can't we? Why can't you? So nothing should be holding you back from other styles of music as well. And the violin has earned its place in all those kinds of music. Jazz, pop, world music, Irish, the bluegrass, Balkan, gypsy music, everything. Now, why did I write a new method? I wrote a new method, the creative violin method. And what I thought was failing, all the old methods, the Shandor, Suzuki, all these older methods, they're great methods, but they only deal with classical music. And I thought, well, maybe it's time now to sort of turn that page and work on the same basic techniques, work on the same build-up, the chronological build-up of techniques, but we're going to do other music as well. So classical music, of course, but also jazz, also gypsy, also Balkan, Romanian folk music, also Irish, also bluegrass. Did I say that? Everything. And of course, improvisation. And what I started with the 3 words, what I meant with that is, if we start with a basic violin, my basic lessons are all about these first 3 notes and straight bowing. So these 2 techniques come into the first lesson. So the first 3 notes, 0, 1 and 2, and then of course just to learn the fingers, the finger placement, and to learn straight bowing, constant bowing, everything about bow pressure, bow direction, everything. Those are in the basics. And can we improvise with that? Oh yeah, we can, because we only need 3 words there. Okay, let me show you how that works. So I'm going to take a little a page from the method. This is at the end of lesson 1, and every lesson ends with "let's improvise," and that's so much fun. With my students in the music academy, that is the best part of the lesson. Every time again, it is so much fun. And if you tell me, yeah, I'm a teacher, but I'm classical trained, I have no skills, no experience with improvisation, you can follow along, and what you learn here, you can already teach. It's not even teaching, but you can already play along with your student. Let me show you the end of lesson 1. We only have 3 notes and a détaché bowing, long bowing. Yeah, only 3 notes and the bowing, and I'll show you how that improvisation works with only those ingredients. With that, you've learned 3 notes: 0, the open string, and 1, the first finger, and 2, the second finger. So let's just put those fingers on the A string. Yeah, are you ready? So first the open string, and then the first finger. Leave the first finger on the violin and put on the second finger. Okay, now what we're going to do right now is I'm going to play 2 notes, then you play 2 notes. I play 2 notes, you play 2 notes. And let me show you in the example with myself. There we go. So did you see that? So easy to perform with your student. And this is where the technique of lesson 1 ends. This is the technique of lesson 1, and you use that in the improvisation. And in the next lesson, lesson 2, we're going to start with quarter notes. And in lesson 3, I think string changes. And every little technique that builds up, we're going to apply in the improvisations as well. So, and that is a lot of fun, I can tell you that. So apart from the improvisation, which stimulates the creative mind enormously, we're also going to play with different styles of music. And I did not get any motivational problems with my students when I started with this method. None at all. It is so, there's a lot of variation in it. And another thing is that I used to have a membership website for the creative violin, but I kicked it out. Of course, everything is getting so expensive. There's a lot of people who couldn't pay for that anymore. So I decided to pull the plug on that and just sell the book. If you can see below the video, below this video, there's in the description, there's the link to the book. And this is from the method what I'm just showing you. And if you buy the book, there is this free, so you can watch every single exercise and song in a video on YouTube, and you can practice along with the video. You can see and practice along, and you can slow down the video. You can move it a little bit faster if you want, so you can adapt the video to your level of playing or level of study. So you can study with each song and exercise on my YouTube channel, the Creative Violin YouTube channel, for free. So that's what you get with the book. That's included in the book. And of course also all the backing tracks. The backing tracks that you hear in the video, they're included as well. You can download them and you can play your own house concerts and play improvisations. The backing tracks of that are included as well. So you can have a lot of fun with that. All included. It's just the book, and the rest is for free. So the link to that book is in the description beneath the video, and it's only 28 euros, and that's it. Book 1 until Pachelbel's Canon. Everything from the basics all the way to Pachelbel's Canon. Check it on the Creative Violin YouTube channel. And if you don't have a teacher, you can also study from this. And we've also got a Creative Violin Facebook group. If you're a member of the group, then you can post your progress in that group. If you don't have a teacher, teachers in that group, and me especially, I'm looking at those videos, and I'm going to give you always positive feedback. Maybe your wrist is a little bit bent, and try this, try that, try to, everything. I'm going to watch your posture and see that you're doing it right. So you can do it on your own as well. And the book has are two versions. It has two versions: a printed version in English and in Dutch. I'm Dutch. And a PDF version, a downloadable ebook in English and in Dutch. Have a look there. If you got the book, then all the videos on YouTube correspond with that. So, I hope new music, improvisation is going to be part of your lesson. And for the teachers out there, I really hope that I can persuade you to teach from this method. I'm teaching this from this method 4 years already, and my students really, really love it. The young ones, but the old ones as well. Every age, even the 5-6-year-olds, they improvise. They don't think, they just do. And that's what it's about. Loving it. Okay, so if you have any questions, let me know. I'll check the comments later. And if you have a new topic for next week, if you have a question for next week, or you want something, you're stuck with something and say, I'd like a little bit more explanation on this topic or that topic, violin rated, then let me know. Then I can make the next Tuesday live your topic. All right? Okay. So hope to see you next week again. Until then, God bless all. Bye-bye.